Hello there friends, this Friday, as of the posting of this video tomorrow, August 30th, Astral Chain is out on Nintendo Switch, and I figured, as I do with most major Nintendo releases, because I'm a nice guy, I will go through all the major things you need to know about Astral Chain. It's releasing, as I said, tomorrow. It's made by Platinum Games. It was revealed in February, as I can't say February, it's a hard word. That or there shouldn't be there. I should start a petition to remove the or from February. Anyway, it was revealed in that direct in February, and it was really interesting at the time to watch the reactions to it, because it's an unknown IP. Astral Chain is a brand new intellectual property from, as it turns out, Platinum Games, but people didn't know that until the end of that trailer. So watching the roller coaster ride that was people looking at this game, trying to figure out what the hell it was, and then being like, oh, it's Platinum, was actually kind of fun, because everyone looks at it on the surface, the art style looks kind of like a Xenoblade game. So it's like, oh, is this like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 or Xenoblade Chronicles X2? But no, it's a brand new game, Astral Chain, as I said, developed by Platinum Games, published by Nintendo. Platinum, of course, famous for making the Bayonetta games, making the wonderful 101 games, making Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance, Nier Automata, Star Fox Zero, but let's not really talk about that one. I don't hate Star Fox Zero, it's okay. It's not the worst game in the world, and people kind of make it out to be the worst game in the world. It's pretty good sometimes, it's not great. But Platinum are very well known for their stylish, fancy action games, and guess what? Astral Chain looks like a stylish, fancy action game. It's directed by Takahisa Taura, who was a designer on Nier Automata. He is directing this game. And Platinum are known for making games that are very stylish, as I said, have very fluid and cool action. They're very famous for making games that are enjoyable to play, which might sound slightly reductive, but not all games are very enjoyable to play. If you're like, what's the premise of Astral Chain? It's very simple. It's anime cops. That's it. The world is at war with a species, I guess, a race known as the Chimera, and they have fled to the Ark, the final city, and is on the verge of extinction, and the world is fighting back. So they have a division of the police named the Neuron Division, and they merge, I suppose enslave is probably closer to the correct term. They enslave certain Chimera, they become Legion, who then they use to fight in battle. Now, the big hook of this game, the big idea of this game, it's not just, another Bayonetta game. It's what they call specifically a synergetic action game. Now, that might sound like a fancy word, because it is, which basically means working together. That's what synergetic means. I googled it. I was dubious as to whether or not it's a word, but synergetic is in fact a word, friends. The key idea is that you have a number of Legion, 5 I believe, that you can switch between and use in battle and use for an assorted other number of things, which I'll get into in a second. But you control yourself, your player character, which you choose, and then customize. You choose one of two twins. You can choose a male or female character, and then the one you don't choose kind of becomes a character in the story, which is actually kind of cool. So if you choose the male, the female will be your sibling, and then play a role in the story, and vice versa. But your player character teams up with those Legion, those enslaved evil mongers, and you perform cool action moves and sick combos, and it looks very cool in motion. As obviously I'm playing the B-roll below this. It looks very fancy. It looks very cool. I'm very on board with how just like bonkers the action looks. And that's what Platinum are known for making. They're known for making bonkers action games, and this one just seems to have a really cool, as I said, anime cops, end of the world, fighting off an invasive alien race hook to it, as all games should. They also seem to have a great deal of variety. Obviously, a large portion of the game is going to be action and fighting. You go to what's called the Astral Plane, and then enslave the evil monsters with your Astral Chain, and then use that chain to control them. The titular Astral Chain. That's a tongue twister. Titular Astral Chain. You use that to enslave them in the Astral Plane and where you fight monsters, but there's a lot more to do than that. You're obviously a police officer, and they actually have you do police officer tasks, including helping people on the street with crimes. Throwing litter in the bin apparently is a thing you can do, or should do, but there's a whole like detective angle. You're dropped into like certain environments that you look around and you look at clues and solve crimes, I guess. Is crimes the right word if it's an evil invasive species? I'm not entirely sure. But you don't just use your Legion either just for fighting. You use it for solving puzzles, you use it for traversing areas. So there's a good amount of variety, there's an interesting amount of different tasks to do. There's different side missions apparently in those kind of detective areas, in the like police half of the game, for want of a better word, even though if you're fighting those chimera, that's still kind of police activity, but the more mundane day-to-day police activity. And there's a mascot called Lappy, wears a dog costume. Seems very good. Seems a very important thing you need to know about this game. So those are kind of like the headline things you need to know about Astral Chain. I'm very interested in it. I'm very interested in it. I've never been a huge Platinum guy. I bounced off Wonderful 101 pretty quick, and I kind of bounced off Bayonetta 2, or I probably should say as well rather than Bayonetta 2, because Bayonetta 2 is an actual video game. But regardless, this looks so cool. It just looks like super duper cool, and it seems to be super approachable. There seems to be a variety of difficulty options, including apparently a mode that basically plays itself, which, look, I know I say I'm bad at games, but I wouldn't be so bad at a game that I'd be like, alright game, just let me watch you. That's like watching a movie, or like, I don't know, playing Red Dead Redemption 2, I guess. But the action looks very fancy. There's 2 games this year. There's this and Daemon X Machina, that both of which I'm on the fence for. Both of which are new IPs, both of which are exclusive to Switch, and I look at both of them, and also Control, which was out the other day, and I downloaded but will eventually get to playing. Those are 3 games this year that are like new and different and experimental that I've had my eye on and I'm somewhat unsure about. Control is apparently very good. Astral Chain even better. The game has an 88 rating on Metacritic and 87 rating on OpenCritic, so it's been very well reviewed. And then the other one is Daemon X Machina, which I'm still like, do I like this game? I'm not sure. But Astral Chain, I'm very excited for. I hope the world building is cool. Apparently, like, the one thing that's a bit of a drag is your player character isn't particularly interesting. They're basically in a blank cipher, which I'm always usually fine with. I don't want to say all video game stories are bad, but if a video game story is bad, I don't really care, because, like, if I want a really good story, I'll watch a movie. A good story is a plus onto something rather than a huge negative, I guess is what I'm saying, unless the game is entirely just a story and then you're like, well, what's even the point? But Astral Chain, I'm pretty excited. I hope it's real good. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Astral Chain. Are you excited for this game? Is this game on your radar? Do you think it's something you'll be excited for? Do you think it's like the next Nier Automata, and that's like that game, like it's like a bunch of sort of underground kind of cult hit buzz and then slowly kind of becomes a Game of the Year contender, or is it just kind of a game you don't really care about? Either way, let me know. On your left, why the first level on Shovel Knight is really awesome, and on your right, last week's top 10 Super Mario Maker 2 levels. Thanks for watching.